Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Frosty Esports versus All One Lane game. Today, you have the daily duo rider, caster extraordinaire, Rengar for you, and casting alongside me today is Gawain, or Gawain,
Gwen. Yeah. I'm the play-by-play caster. This will be a fun game between AOL and Frosty.
Yep, first ban in is a Darius and Talia. Darius on the side of Frosty and Talia on the side of All One Lane. Haven't seen very much Darius play except for one game, and he didn't do that too bad on it, so I can see why the ban's coming out.
Yeah, and Darius just got a pretty big buff in the recent patch, and he's much better against these really big tanks. That is what normally is played.
Yep. Brand and Talia coming out. Brand, an awesome team fighter. Could be put mid lane or support, and we've even seen it play jungle. So taking that way, that flex pick, and then the Jax ban coming out, which has been seeing more play throughout the tournament, mainly due to the 9,000 IQ top laner, and Ninetales, who has brought it out in multiple series.
Yes. I'm actually sure that ban was against Ravencrow in the jungle, as that his other than Xin Zhao is his highest jungler played.
Yeah, they're trying to target ban. Xin Zhao just got nerfed, so I can see why they would choose to ban the Jax over the Xin Zhao. Wondering to see if he'll actually pick it up, though. But for the first pick by Mordekaiser, it'll be the Tarek for Not a Real Doctor. Very comfortable on that champion. And Abe Lincoln will be picking now.
I think they should have waited on the Tarek. I don't think Zushi plays a lot of Tarek, so I don't think that it was like a question mark whether or not it would get picked up. So maybe picking up a more contested pick is what you would want to do in that situation.
Yeah, Sejuani and Zach both open, so I definitely think it wasn't first pick material, but maybe afraid of having it banned out in the second phase, since the last ban wasn't on a ban. But neither team prioritizing the jungle picks right now. Sejuani has a very good win rate. Ooh, Solo Ross gonna pick up the cane after seeing Piping's Blight pop off on it yesterday against ESG.
He's popped off on it several times. The Galio mid there is pretty interesting, offers a pretty safe laning phase, and if you do get ahead, you do a ton of damage with your Q, though Orianna is one of the safest laner in mid lane, so that wave clear coming out from Orianna versus the Galio, I'm pretty sure it's just nothing's gonna happen in that lane.
Yeah, All One Lane looking for a very team fight heavy comp. They already have two pretty big tanks in the Galio and Maokai, and with the hyper carry late game, it's looking very good so far for him. And we know Blue Edit loves his Twitch pick. It has a very high ban rate against him just because it is one of his main champions, and it's also the champion that he feels most comfortable on. They're going to ban away the Varus from Mr. Convenience, not wanting to face that matchup in the bot lane. Support's still open, though.
Yeah, though I do think that you'd only see bans of supports coming out from Frosty, as they... I mean, limiting your champion pool for support if you haven't picked it is probably not the smartest. Which is
what in the Tarek top lane?
Maybe, I don't know. If it happens, I'll be... and they win, I'll applaud them.
Yeah, gonna go ahead and ban Sejuani. Don't want another tank in the jungle. They could even go for... If they go for a tanky support here on the side of All One Lane, they could even go for a more carry-oriented jungler. I'm interested to see if they'll go for a more damage bot lane with the support, and then go for a tank jungle, or if they'll just go ahead and do the damage in the jungle.
I bet they'll be leading more towards damage in the jungle, as having two tanks in the mid lane and top lane probably doesn't... I mean, you'll do a lot of damage, and your only damage that will be Twitch if the jungle doesn't also do some.
Yeah, I think it was smart to ban the Sejuani away there, because she does do a lot of damage on top of being tanky, and Gragas is a pretty similar champ in that aspect, so not a bad pick.
Yeah, though I would have liked to maybe see...
the Kha'Zix would have been good, I think.
Yeah, something like that, where you already have enough AP damage coming from Galio and Maokai that they'll probably have to build at least one AP item and not just stack pure armor. And going Gragas just means you won't have a ton of AD or AP damage.
Yeah, Sion picked him in the top lane for Mordekaiser. Sorry, go ahead.
With the Zyra? Okay, well, I'll bite my words before they're wrong. Making a army proud with the Sion in the top lane.
Yep, trying to pull the old army. Go 40-0 on the Sion top. Will be the Zyra locking for Zushi. Very damage oriented, so not going for that third hyper tank.
Yeah.
Which could come back to bite them in the end, because 30 plus minutes, 3 tanks is very strong.
That's true, especially if you get that CC on the Tristana or the Kayn, you'll easily blow them up. If the Orianna is CC'd for like any amount of time, she won't be able to do anything with her ball. I do like the Zyra pickup, as that's kind of what I was talking about wanting in the jungle, though it won't do a ton of damage unless they get ahead.
Yeah, and Scion win rate in this league is actually at 0% right now. So Mordekaiser's trying to see if he can break the Scion curse. 0% win rate out of all Scion games. Maybe it needs a change of pace, played in support, but we'll see.
How many games was that?
I don't know. I think it's what, out of 3-4 games?
Oh wow, that's actually pretty surprising.
It's pretty bad.
I guess the ult wasn't being.
Oh, 5 games total. I'm just hearing from our analyst desk. 5 games total with a 0% win rate on Scion.
Let's see if that's again happening. Maybe there's some reason why they're not being utilized to their maximum. Only doing it for the army meme means you're probably not the best on it.
Yeah. Well, Frosty is currently sitting in 3rd or 4th place right now. Or no, maybe not. Let me check. They're currently sitting in 5th place right now, so they know what they're doing. They picked up 2 wins already, very confident in their abilities, and they have some of the best camaraderie out of any team in the league. So a lot of faith put in each other to not go in this team fight oriented build. They're believing that their solo laners can like get a lead early, especially with the new Scion build where you max E and then W, and sometimes you don't even like put a point to Q until late, just because you can get the Arcane Comet proc every time and they can't dodge it with the E slow. So I'm interested to see if they'll go for that and just go for the pure lane dominance, or if they are going to somehow try to look for the Scion ultimate into the Orianna ultimate.
Yeah, if the Scion does land like a really big ultimate, I feel like the team fight ends right there. But it's landing that I think is going to be the hardest part.
Yeah, it's so telegraphed considering he yells to the entire map it's coming. We'll see though, and you can't really count out, even though I do like all one lane's team comp better, you can't really count out Frosties just because they do have the Taric, and late game that ultimate can literally make or break a game. On top of the Kayn, if he manages to get a few kills early, then the game could be over before 25 minutes.
Yeah, I think it depends on execution. I think both teams do have tools that can enable them to do better. Though if AOL does maybe not communicate well enough, I think the Gragas ult can make it a lot worse on those team fights if it is used not appropriately. If you're using it to split the entire team, where now the backline is now in front of you, and like Taric, who maybe was just a little further behind, is now super far away. Like if you use it that way, that'd be great for this team fight. But if you use it right on top of the Twitch ult, then it's like the Twitch can't do a lot of damage.
Yeah. Very correct. I'm wanting to see if the Gragas will try and make some early lane plays, especially in the bot lane with the Zyra can root. Top lane has it too, but Sion's a lot harder to kill, and especially since after Sion dies, if you're low, it's pretty much GG because that Sion will get the extra attack speed and the lifesteal.
Yeah.
Dead. So a little risky to camp top lane, at least early, especially when Maokai isn't that tanky. But Zyra does do a lot of damage early, so I'm expecting to see some bot lane camps early.
Yeah, I feel like both mid lane and top lane don't have any escape techniques where they can do any, like Sion can slow you, but he can't run away pre-6. Taric can't run away at all. He can only use his ult to just become invulnerable. And Orianna can only use, like, there's no CC in any of those lanes to, in mid or top, to stop the jungler from coming in. So maybe focusing on those if they are pushed up. But I do think that bot lane is probably the best area to focus with the Twitch. Because if you do get the Twitch ahead and the Zyra ahead, you'll enable them to do a ton of damage. And tanks don't need a ton of money to become just extremely tanky.
Yeah, I agree. I'd love to see that Zyra get fed, just like 1v5. That ultimate and her E, they can go through minions. It's just such a good team fighting tool. And especially with the Twitch, they can hit multiple members. If they do land a good combo on top of being fed early, if the Gragas manages to play it right, then it could be over just as early as it could be for Frosty.
Yeah. I really do like the full gold AOL team. Looking good. Looks really spicy.
Yep, trying to look at the runes and Summoner. What is it? Summoner flash healy thingies. See if there's any Summoner spells. That's what they are.
There is the Ignite and Electrocute on Galio, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, pretty aggressive. I know Bjergsen in the LCS just had a game where he one-shot 2 people with Electrocute. So I'm interested to see if that's what encouraged that. Or
probably.
If he just feels that confident in the Galio pick, might go full AP instead of tank. That would be very, very interesting. Top lane, Sion is going for the Arcane Comet, looking for that. The poke, we'll see if he maxes E first. It'd be pretty interesting
Seems
if
like
he didn't. Bot lane, the exhaust, not the ignite coming out on either support. Not wanting that kill pressure early, which I'm a little shocked on the Zyra. More thinking about the late game than
Yeah.
early game kill pressure, I guess.
Especially with Ignite, I feel like you do have just tons of kill pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Though the Ignite on Kid of Fire means that mid lane might be an area that they focus a lot. As
Yeah.
if you do get the knockup on Galio, especially early, if you go QE auto attack, they're hurting. They're hurting quite bad. It looks like they're trying to invade. They're getting in there. Kane spots him out. Is not in that bush, so they don't get anybody. That's
Yeah, I
even.
wouldn't be surprised if around the 6 to 12 minute mark they looked for a dive bot lane, especially since they have the Gragas that the Galio can ult into. And
Yeah.
then with the exhaust out of Sushi, I think it'll be really good.
AOL does look.
Like
You
5
go
man
ahead.
invading, looked for it, but they didn't do anything. Just the 5 pointing out of each team.
Are you a little bit behind?
Yeah, it was a little bit, just sped it up. Game was a little slow to load in.
Yeah, no problem.
Now we're watching Maokai. Oh, baby, the gameplay. Haven't had a pause yet, so we'll see if that comes in later during the game.
Are we
Could
sure?
this be the game where it
Yeah, are
breaks?
we sure we're casting for Duo Esports at this rate?
Looks
I
like,
mean-
yeah, Kane's just going to take Raptors as well.
Kane has a really good clear on Raptors with the Q. Really good Canes do Q into the wall in order to get a faster clear. Disappointing to not see that come out.
Yeah. Gonna run to his red. I wonder if he's going to go Raptors, buff, invade. Or if he's just going to full clear.
For Kane, I would like to see the invade, as with your E, you do have very easy mobility to escape from jungle if they do catch you.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to see that as well. I don't know how low Gragas gets early, just because we haven't seen an enormous amount of him being played. But when it has been picked, I don't think it's done very well. So I'm kind of interested to see why they go for it, or if it'll work this game. But we will see shortly as the training in the bot lane continues.
It is an Infernal Drake, so really focusing that bot lane to get an early lead. And like that Infernal will help both teams. They do have pretty good carries in Tristana and Twitch.
Yeah, I actually noticed the Dorn shield coming out for the Tristana rather than the Dorn's blade. And we used to see that quite a bit on a lot of ADCs, but not so much recently.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't hit it with either starting item, so there is the invade going on. They do spot it out, both Cyan. Maokai is roaming, Galio is coming up here.
Wow, yeah. They're gonna push the Maokai back. He's still gonna stay. Galio missing a little bit of XP in the mid lane, but if Kane gets greedy here, he could get caught out by going for the Raptor. Nah, looks like he's just gonna let him know he's there. He's gonna take a few of them. Meanwhile, Zyra doing Zyra things, trading early. So is the Maokai, not afraid. The level advantage on the Sion. Not too shabby.
Yeah, I think Kid of Fire is losing the trades to the Orianna, as the QW with Aerie does a ton of damage if you don't have that magic shield. And bot lane is getting shoved in. I do like that, as Tristana has a pretty hard time wave clearing under turret, because if you do get the passive from your E off, suddenly the rest of the minions are off. And I'm pretty
Especially
sure
that Zyra constant harass, it's really hard to step up and actually take it.
And that's why we see the 8 CS minion lead coming from the Twitch. They did target ban Mr. Convenience a ton.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see if in mid lane, like Orianna's obviously going to win these trades early because she's ranged. But I think as soon as Galio like gets an item, and especially if he goes for the MR item first, like he usually does, because you start building more of a tanky style, he'll start winning these trades really easy on her, unless she just kites to perfection, which is kind of hard to do.
The auto attacks from the passive do help combat that a little bit, but if the Abyssal Mass does come through, I should expect Kid of Fire to be winning those.
That tanks a tower shot there with his Justice Punch. Actually launches him back before he can punch forward, so it does tank the tower shot there. A little unlucky, having to back early. 3 CS behind. Let's see what he purchases.
The Zyra trade coming in here. The stun plus the bomb, almost killing. The extra hit almost ends it. They flash forward, gets the first blood. Mr. Convenience exhausts, jumps out. I'm pretty sure they should have tried to get that engaged. The Dazzle does stun. Mr. Convenience comes back, gets the auto attack, almost actually takes him down. The auto attacks the slow. Kane is coming in here. No assist given to Kane. Tristana does get a double kill. That'll really help that CS lead. I think that should only be about that should be fairly substantial, as I'm pretty sure a BF sword is able to be taken, at 1475 right now. That's really good.
Yeah, that was kind of sad. Zyra missed the stun there, and then on top of that, Twitch healed late. He tried to flash heal to try and get in range, because the heal wasn't in range, but still managed to miss it by the slightest margin, and unfortunately Zyra went down there. Could have looked to trade if Zyra would have lived, but then Mr. Convenience popped his heal, and then it was a 2v1. I wish they would have given it to the Kane, just because the Kane needs his passive early. The earlier the better. So a little unfortunate not to give it to him, but not bad on the Tristana either with the BF sword, especially when they were already getting harassed on the lane.
Yeah, I think Kane came down a little bit late. I do like for me, I do like it that it's on the Tristana, as Tristana does get much better later game. So the easier that she makes it there, I think they'll be more likely to win. With Kane, I think that he just has to gank pretty well. I don't think that was really like a planned gank or something that was supposed to get him ahead. Only if Twitch went further down would Kane have been able to get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I more think of, I guess it's really debatable in terms of what the Kane goes. If he goes the Rost, then it makes a lot more sense for it to be on the Tristana. But if he is looking for like the early end, which is what they were looking like, but you know, it would have been better for the Shadow Assassin. Especially since the Shadow Assassin procs are what he would have gotten for the ranged champion, so maybe you are right with the Tristana gold.
Yeah, it does depend on what they're looking for, or if Kane is supposed to be the carry here. I don't know what form you're looking for on this side. The gank coming through.
The multiple tanks, I think the knockup is just better here.
So that would be Rost.
One-shot the Twitch. Yeah, the Rost, because you're not going to be able to one-shot the Twitch with the Zyra there. That's just gonna... There it is! There's the pause.
Finally. I was concerned I was in the wrong channel.
Looks like the top went ahead and DC'd. And the rest of the team is going to go use the restroom in the meantime, so it might be a few minute pause. But anyway, like I was saying, it's going to be hard to one-shot the Twitch just because not only does he go invisible, but when you have the Zyra that can stun pretty much anywhere, or at least ult themselves if he does jump on, then that could be a dead Kane if they just turn on him. So I think you're going to want to go the tankier, the Rost build, and just look for the knockups in the CC.
Yeah, I agree with that. With triple tank, with all the CC coming out from everybody but the Twitch, really hard CC, so stops him from getting in there. Because he's never going invulnerable except for in the ult. And if you have to be super close to use that ult.
Yeah. I like the, well, I guess I don't like that, but the fact that Tristana got ahead is good for her since she does have an 11 CS deficit. So very good that they're getting ahead early, at least with the side of Frosty. Yeah, not necessarily the most important thing on the side of...
For bot lane, it really feels different when you are trying to trade with a BF to pickaxe, because they're hitting you and it's doing like way less damage, and you're hitting them and you're chunking their health bar, especially with that bomb, with the scaling on that. It'll really help if they do get in there again. That Dazzle hit several times within that team fight, which really stopped the DPS coming from their bot lane. And Zyra just went in a little bit too far. The unpause coming out here.
Looks like Gragas going for the Chilling Smite. So Kane going for the Skirmisher's Saber. Challenging Smite. Early MR picked up by Sion. Nothing really out of the ordinary build path-wise here. The Dark Steel picked up from Orianna.
I do like the Negatron. Yeah, true. I do like the Negatron cloak coming from Galio. As just like you were talking about, Orianna's doing way less damage now.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate playing a melee champion into a ranged. So you have to pick up those resistances early if you want a chance. Ooh, the Cyrus missing every stun. Unlucky.
Going in there, Tristana jumping in. Yep. That W added another stack to that bomb. Now hitting Twitch almost seems like he'll be able to get the kill. The Galio coming in there while Sion ulting top lane, trying to get for the Maokai. The Sion Q misses. The Smite there only doing a little bit more damage.
It's all over the map. That's unlucky.
Yeah.
Unlucky for the side of all one lane, 4-0 in the favor of Frosty. The Galio, unfortunately, ult came a little bit late. It was probably just out of range. When he did get there, they were already outie due to the W reset on Tristana.
No, the Scion ult came in on the Maokai.
Or did I say Scion? I meant the Galio.
Ah.
Galio too.
Didn't the Galio... Oh, yeah, Galio went bottom. We didn't get to see who it knocked up. I don't think it mattered. Neither side had enough damage to kill them.
Nope. It was okay gank. 20 CS lead for Kane. Just taking advantage of all the free time he has. Gank at top lane. Always hard to gank a Maokai with the lifesteal he has in the CCA.
Yeah. And that Q knockup always... It doesn't seem like it does a ton, but when it hits you, you're like unable to do anything for just a little bit.
Especially since it slows you for like a second, I think.
Yeah.
1.5 seconds or something.
Knockups are a little bit harder to really guess what it's going to do, as after it hits you, it does give you a stun for a little bit there. Kane almost died to that blue buff. The mechanics there were impeccable.
Calculated. Had it down to a science.
Of course.
Control wards being picked up by all one lane, putting them pretty deep. One in the enemy jungle, one on the Drake, just making sure that they do have that early vision because it is an Infernal Drake, and if they lose that early, especially on a 4-0 Tristana, it could be game over.
Yeah.
Really fast.
And Orianna not checking that bush for the control ward. I find it funny when a lot of people just like walk past wards. From our point of view, we can see it, but from theirs, they can't. The control ward in that bush, I don't think they can take control of that until bot lane does get shoved in, and that control minion wave allows Zyra to step in for those big trades. Zyra now going to end the control ward. They go on that Twitch. The Tristana jumps forward, gets her bomb, auto attacks a few times. That exhaust coming onto the Taric, not doing a lot. The bomb explodes, not dealing enough damage. They turn on the Zyra. The Kane is coming in here. The auto attacks, the stun means that she flashes. Kane flashes over, ults onto the Zyra. Auto attacks the W inside tower range. Does a ton of damage with the Gragas Q. The Orianna's ult coming in here, ending the life. Gragas going down, auto attacks, Galio trying to escape. No ult from Galio in that team fight means that 3 people go down.
A 3-for-1 in the favor of Frosty. Knowing the limits of their champion, Orianna just getting down there first was able to pump in that extra damage. Get that
Orianna putting the wave mid in a good position so that she can roam. I really do like the almost instant roaming. I think it seemed like they got there much faster than I expected. That went from like 0 to 10. Yeah,
and that is that 6-11 mark. Frosty actually looking way more early than all one lane, even though they have the better dive comp all one lane.
I don't think using the Galio to get the poke down is pretty good right here, unless you have that lead, because you have no AP versus the minions when they don't have enough like magic resist to get away from it. And if you use it, they're taking the entire rather than just the impact of the Q. Though Galio going in here, getting the auto attack, doing a ton of damage. That's what you do want with the Galio.
MR, just gotta be able to get out of that faster. Sidestep that Q and you take the trade every time. Unfortunately, not sidestepping at that time. And in the meanwhile, top lane. 2 tank hammer on each other.
Doesn't seem like either will end, and Maokai just healing all of that up.
Yeah. Really unfortunate. Just pokes it back out with his E and he'll poke with his Q. One thing I was noticing earlier, the ward just expired, but the control ward that was in that bush, the reason that Orianna didn't think there was a ward, because she placed a ward right in between mid lane and Dragon Pit, and it was just out of range of the control ward. So she actually thought that was safe.
Yeah. In that bush on the opposite side of Dragon, on the blue side of Dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah. But not checking that bush is what I find funny. Gragas coming in here for the steal. Blue team takes it. The Zyra ult plus the Taric ult and then Galio ult come in here. The knockup. Not enough damage coming out. Though the Kane doing enough to take down the Gragas. Galio gets onto the backline. The heal coming out. Maokai getting in there from a teleport in the backline on Orianna. The ult coming out from Orianna not landing. Plus the Taric going down means I think Infernal was the only good thing for blue team. And it depends on if red team can convert a gold advantage by getting a tower here to make it even.
Traded 2 for 2. Both top laners hanging around there. A little late by the Gragas, but still decided to commit to it. They waited out the Taric ulti pretty nicely with only the Gragas going down. And it looked like the team was split.
Yeah, but going in on Zyra right now, the Scion ult going in for Twitch, dealing damage. Triss jumps over. Twitch flashes over the Kane, gets the kill. Auto attacks the Tristana, almost able to take him down. That, yes, does take him down with the caster minion's help, plus the poison. That was
Yeah, what
not
looked like
worth.
a bad trade. What looked like a bad trade. A 3v2. Twitch just kiting it really well. Was
Yeah.
able to back him by that BF sword, but Tristana already got her static shift. Finished 7-1-2 compared to the 3-4-2. Twitch still rocking that gold lead though. Or not the gold lead, but the CS lead.
Trish does have the gold lead by about
1,000.
yeah, by 1,000. Oh, the jump up from Galio, not able to get the stun. Plus the Q misses.
Yeah, Terrachroma mid, watching that. For his mid laner.
Mm-hmm.
Might run into Gragas and Zyra. Nope, he'll path the safe way, the smart way.
Especially with that ward down means he'll be able to escape. Red team does get a few wards on, but they seem to be almost getting collapsed here. The ward there means that they know the control ward is in that bush. Not going to live long.
Yeah, both teams wanting to fight though, even though there is a pretty clear like victory.
Yeah, right now. Frosty able to just collapse sooner.
Lumberjack Scion going back to clear top lane. Hasn't finished any of his items yet, while Maokai is sitting on the Sunfire's cape, I think. Yep, the Sunfire's cape.
Yep, Sunfire's cape. The CS advantage for Maokai plus the assist lead means that Maokai does have a ton more. And Scion not able to really get the full advantage of a completed item, as you'll see a lot more useful like gold efficiency out of from a full completed item rather than just parts.
Yeah. I'm definitely expecting him to go in a lot more now, especially since he has that lead.
Yeah. You'll probably win trades, especially since that heal against a Scion, who will just be able to poke you out. I think Maokai looks for extended trades.
Also, I don't know if it's me that's lagging or if it's you that's lagging. You sound a little roboty.
Right.
I don't know if that's me or you. Am I sounding roboty to you?
No, not at all.
Okay. Gragas looking for a dive bot lane. Doesn't land
The ult there only getting the Taric, the Q coming in, but the Galio ult able to almost save him. Gragas getting down by the turret shot, but they are getting the Taric. The ultimate from Taric coming down, just able to save the Orianna and Trist. No trades coming back. And again, like, all one lane is looking for these fights. Galio goes in with the Justice Punch, able to get onto the Orianna. Twitch, the Orianna ult ending both of them. The exhaust not able to end Galio's life, but able to jump in there. Going in on the Twitch, almost able to get him out of there. Zyra trying to escape, but the Tristana just able to jump over. Does go down. The bomb on her, does actually get the kill. Wow, the Orianna flashing back in there, knowing the Q, knowing the damage coming from the Orianna ball, and the Trist E. Fairly explosive. Hey, Rankar? You alright? I still can't hear you. Alright, well. Seems like it's a solo cast. Gragas is concerned about the Rift Herald being taken, but with the control word down means that it won't be taken, at least for the foreseeable future. I think that the gold lead for Frosty...
Oh, sorry to just interrupt out of nowhere. Army Overlord here, guys. I'm just going to fill in super fast to make sure good old Rengar comes back pretty soon. But I'll cover a spot if you want me to.
No problem.
All right, sweet. Well, right into the match, right fast and quick. Looks to be a big lead right now for Mr. Convenience. Very huge right now.
Yeah.
My goodness.
He has a ton of the gold on the team with 11 kills. Orianna only having 3. The Galio getting in there for the E, but Scion able to flash away before additional damage is able to come in there.
I'm actually... Oh, sorry, go on.
Or they're looking for deep wards for both sides. Red side looking for deep wards, and for Rift Herald right now, with Tristana just trying to clear the wave and push in.
Yeah, that's honestly kind of an interesting decision they decided to make there. I think the pressure was just so that way they can set up the play at the Herald here, and that's going to be a quick grab for them. Unless Rost wants to try something sneaky, he's in position for it.
Yeah, Kane going in, able to get the electrocute, the ult going down. Galio just ulting, unable to escape. They're diving bot lane. They're just able to get a ton of damage. With the Orianna ult coming in at Rift Herald, able to take down a lot of the red team. Maokai flashing over the wall. Kane flashing also. The W able to slow him down. Maokai going back in, able to get a ton of damage. Let's see if Ross can turn it.
Ooh.
The shield coming down. The W from the Maokai. needs more DPS, able to get the kill on Maokai.
Looks like you're back,
Frosty
Rengar.
winning
I'll
trades.
just be tagging out right now, so you're all set, man.
Thank
Frosty
you. Had
winning
3
trades
streams
across the
open so
entire
far.
map.
Yeah, all around good trades for Frosty. Really showing their dominance. Kane getting a little too aggressive there. Manages to walk away. Maokai, maybe not realizing that he could 1v1 him immediately, or saw that Shay Coin was coming. Either way, it does end up being a positive trade for the side of Frosty.
Yeah, the Galio out there means that he just like wasn't able to move
Yep.
and just taken down from by the Kane.
Yeah, it means they give up. No, actually, Maokai did get rift,
Yeah.
but they do lose the
Though
Dragon
Scion going in here with the Dazzle, Galio trying to escape, does get hit by the Scion ult, almost going down, with the Maokai teleport coming through, attacking the Taric. The Twitch jumps in there, but able to get focused by the Tristana. Tristana jumps onto him along with the team fight with the background, maybe going a little bit too deep, but does pick up the Twitch, jumping away from the Tristana, but able to get followed up by the Maokai and Gragas and Zyra.
Yeah, 2 for 1. They did manage to get Drake. Frosty did.
And that's a double Infernal too.
Yeah. Yep. Twitch maybe going a little too ham. Started to try and look for the trade once he realized the Maokai was going in, but soon realized that he's a whole item behind the Tristana. With the team trending on him, nothing he could really do. Tristana W'd in to finish off the Twitch, and then the whole team collapsed on her. Unlucky. 15-3-2 the Tristana now is. Finally managed to pick up the farm lead as well. Building her 3rd Zeal item. Looks like she's building a 3rd or a 2nd static shift.
No, it's a rapid fire cannon.
Rapid fire cannon. Okay, builds out with the Kershai's shard as well.
The
Yeah,
wave clear
Twitch is
coming
not
from
gonna be
Orianna, able to shove in the Galio every single time. Galio having to use Justice Punch just to get more DPS.
Yeah, both teams hovering around the mid side. And just Orianna and Kane right now.
Kane going in on the Zyra, able to W him up. The exhaust coming through, probably able to save him. Galio is ulting in there, able to not knock him up. But the taunt there, able to CC him to his death.
That CC's a tilt there. 1-3-8 on the Kane. Happy that his team's doing well, but you gotta imagine how frustrated he is right now on these multiple misplays.
Why did Galio place a control ward there?
It's like, you're not
Places
gonna
a
get my
control ward. Okay.
He's trying to deny
Galio
the
is
gold.
out of position, has to flash away. Justice punches away. Scion ult coming through, sees the Gragas. Maybe going a little too ham for the Galio, able to get into tower range, taunted, does tons of damage. The Maokai ult also hitting, but now Galio's going too far in. Tristana jumps over into tower range. Both tower ranges, Maokai trying to CC her.
Oh, so
Wow, this is an interesting team. This is an interesting game. Both sides going super deep there. But Frosty able to come out ahead with that
They had the
gold.
lead. Frosty having the lead, but ALLONELANE is not showing any respect. Like, we know who you are, we know your lead, but we're gonna fight you anyway.
Yeah. Okay, well that was a lot of monkeying around right there. I think it's solely that the gold lead was with Frosty that they were able to take the win.
Yeah.
I think whoever had the gold lead would have been able to win whatever ape stuff went on.
Yeah, it kind of just snowballed off that miss stun early game with the Zyra. They were able to pick up those 2-0, and then pick up another 2v2. And now, Tristana's just running all over the map, diving in as much as she wants with that Taric ulti.
Now 2v9ing with the Taric ult.
Yeah. And the control ward thing you were talking about, the reason he placed it, I don't know why he placed it over the wall again.
Yeah.
But he tried to place it down to deny the gold, because it was one hit away. So he placed down another control ward to deny the goal. Oh, side note.
Yeah, they're going onto the Galio. Kane able to get the ult off. Galio does taunt, but has no escape when 3v1'd. Wow, the Scion ult does actually knock the Rift-Tailed back. That's actually really interesting.
I thought it was the E at first.
Yeah. Not the...
Yeah, it is
you're
the E. You could just infinitely shove
Sorry.
it back. That's great.
He ulted just to get to Galio. It didn't hit Rift-Tailed ever. My mistake.
Yeah,
Trying to
they're just
take
gonna
down
shove in
the
that too.
tier 2, yeah. There's not a lot that AOL can do in this position, as the wave clear is really from Galio to Q that backline, and I don't think that he's been using his Q in that fashion, and got caught out 3v1'd. It's pretty hard
Not
to...
even really looking to siege, even though they have a pretty good siege comp, but they're just looking to dive every chance they get, and if they can't dive, they go look for another tower.
If you're this far ahead, I mean, why not?
Yeah, very true. 3 items completed to the Twitch's 1. Top lane finally caught back up a little bit. 40 CS lead for Maokai still. Massive CS lead in the jungle for Kane. Has his item completed.
Greg is going in, not knowing the team is going in. The Galio ult coming out, but the Orianna ult able to take down the backline. Kane in the backline, able to take down all three. The Taric ult able to save the team most of the damage. Galio goes down. Kane follows the Maokai. The knock up there, really useful. The Tristana going in, able to kill the Maokai.
I don't think death timers are long enough for it to be game. They can definitely pick up 1, if not 2 inhibitors here. I don't know why y'all would like keep on winning. Like they have a good team fight comp, yes, but when you're this far behind, you kind of have to just slow the game and get some items. Just keep 5v5ing like they have the lead.
Yeah, very true. The Orianna ult able to just take down the backline. Yeah, lots of control wards placed down, but they're just
lots of control wards. Orianna ulti, I believe. Almost single-handedly won that fight. She would have got the W off. Could have been a 1v4 for the Orianna. Unfortunately, only on. Oh, she's on 2 items. The spell. Oh, that's not a new item. That's Morellonomicon.
Yeah, Morellonomicon and Leandre's. Though Leandre, basically, Morellonomicon is the old Leandre's, but without the percentage damage and with grievous wounds. And then Leandre's does just percentage health damage now. I don't think that Leandre's is a good pickup for Orianna, as you'll need to do, in order to fully utilize it, you'll need to be in combat for 10 seconds continuously. And with Orianna, you're really looking for that Q ult W to just decimate the backline.
Yeah, when these fights are lasting 3 seconds, not really the most useful thing you can get. Many of the people in this league still trying to find out what most of the items do, what's the best build path. We've seen multiple different Orianna build paths, some buying Seraphs first, some buying Morellos. So it's interesting to see that she went for the Morellos Leandre's.
Yeah, I won't give out my build order, but I don't think Morellos is the right item here, especially as the first item.
Yep, gonna go ahead and pick up the Drake. Honestly, they could just like 1-3-1ing it because they're not gonna be able to contest. Like, if we keep the Maokai busy in top lane with a Scion, the Kane can look for a knock up mid lane against any of them really, because they're all so squishy at this point. And I mean, or they could just push bot lane and look for the 5v5 because they're so far ahead.
I don't know. Yeah, for me with Frosty, with this lead, there's no reason why you're trying to split it up, because if you do a 1-3-1, oh, the Taric flashing forward, trying to get the stun. The Orianna ult only hitting 1, but the Taric ult able to make everybody invulnerable, able to take down the Taric. No, the Gragas, but the Terror Dive there not going in favor. Tristana almost going down. Twitch is invisible, but Kane is going for the Zyra. Maokai also going down, and the Orianna flashing forward to get the Twitch.
Yeah,
that's what you want with this gold lead, right? There's no reason why you're... Yeah. What I was going to say is with a 1-3-1, if the 3 on the losing team does transition to get a 1-4, and the 3 is unable to take a tower, but with this gold lead, you're able to just annihilate these...
yeah. 26-minute game for the side of Frosty. And that bot lane snowball just really should. Yep.
That was a pretty messy fight there. But the gold lead also shining through that they're just doing way too much damage for the 3 tanks to handle. I think Army should come in here for the graphs pretty soon.
Hey, wow, you already did that bit for me, thanks. Yeah, I am here. Let's talk about some match history, shall we? Let's take a quick look and get your guys' personal opinions as well. Right off the bat, let's take a look at that crowd control score from the stats department here. Zyra at the 50, highest amount of crowd control score, despite having one of the highest deaths in that matchup here. 50 on the crowd control score. So Sushi certainly hitting those skill shots effectively. Could not seem to translate that into helping his team out to get that extra part, despite the fact that Zyra ended up doing the most damage as well. What do you guys think?
That's... the Tristana, even though they banded Mr. Convenience a lot on the Xayah and the Vayne, able to do the most damage in the game, it's really disappointing to see the Twitch not able to do, like, only barely going above half of Zyra, and Zyra doing more than everybody else in the entire game, other than Tristana, shows how good Zushi is at Zyra, but the rest of the team not able to do anything. That was the issue that I was seeing, is that the rest of the team not able to do damage.
I kind of disagree. No. I feel like the Tristana snowball, like the reason she was able to have so much damage is because of the Zyra misplays early. Like that almost single-handedly caused the snowball from Tristana the 2-0, and then it happened again it happened twice, which is kind of like a no-no, especially on a Zyra champion, where you are literally the make or break it fight down there. So Tristana was able to snowball off the misplays of the Zyra.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
just
but
seems like a gamble after gamble after gamble just kind of seemed
Mhm.
to really go right and just went all into the Tristana. But go on if you have one more comment.
I think Zyra doing the most damage on red side. I agree with you. I think the Zyra trades there, especially when she walked too far forward and got dazzled stunned from the Taric, lost them that bot lane, and Tristana was able to snowball it. But having Zyra do the most damage in game showed how little everybody else was doing also.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm unfortunate for that type of situation. It seemed like the all one lane strategy was let's put it all into bot lane to help carry the 3 beefy tanks that we've got here. Definitely seemed to backfire heavily when Tristana managed to be the most fed out of every single person in that matchup. Another thing I gotta say is I've also noticed, and this is my final comment, I don't want to pick on Bluedit here, but there's just something that seems to be affecting his play style in the match to come. It just kind of seems like he's getting nervous, or or he's getting worried because you can kind of see him stop auto attacking when he sees somebody way stronger than him or way more fed than he is. He just starts shooting, and then all of a sudden Tristana lands right in front of him, starts shooting him, and the first thing he thinks to do is immediately run away, even when his team had him at the flank. Like they had Tristana in a perfect sandwich between Twitch and Malachi, but he just grabbed his gun and ran. And Tristana gets the free kill, gets the reset, and jumps right back out and stays alive. And poor Bluedit definitely it did not get where he needed to be in that game. Let's hope he'll find something in game 2 when it comes around.
Well, I would like to highlight his 1v3 play there against the bot lane, able to pick up 2 kills there. I think the issue was he thought that he could escape, and I think against a Tristana that jumps immediately onto you and is that fed, your only chance is to kill her with the rest of your team. And thinking that you could escape is probably not the right idea as a Twitch.
I agree. I don't know if we want to single out any one person there.
Yeah.
It kind of seemed to be like a team issue. It wasn't
Yeah.
just the bot lane that threw. Like the Tristana did snowball off that, yeah, but it was kind of the team's fault. Like every single member to not slow the game down there.
Or
So
it's like
we go on
a
to
bunch of people team fighting.
Right. We go on to damage taken and self-mitigated damage. Looks like the Malachi ends up with the highest damage taken and damage mitigated as well. Not surprising at all. It's a solid statistic to know that, yeah, that passive is really strong. And, of course, you build tank, you're going to be one of the most highest on that department. Sion, surprisingly, was actually one of the least tanked individuals. All of all one lane actually out-tanked him, which is, honestly, that's pretty surprising.
Oh, wait a minute, Army. You haven't even mentioned the curse is broken.
The curse
gotta win.
is broken. I was going to get to
Sion
that in
did
a
it.
moment. Yeah, I was going to get to that. Good job for Mordekaiser. Let's get on to Vision Score and wards placed here. It looks like Zyra barely edged out Kane, despite Kane dropping about, give or take, 3 more wards. Looks like the Vision Score certainly was looking very high for Zyra, but they just could not seem to make these plays despite having that high vision. Do you guys have any ideas why?
For vision score, what actually happens is the closer they are to your base, the less they're worth, which is why you'll see people who are losing have way worse vision score. And also,
this is also an important statistic to bring up in a second to get to your point coming. Kid plays 17 wards, but managed to get a vision score of 16. What is the explanation, in your opinion, for that? Played 17 and got a 16 on the vision score.
His wards were really close to his base, or they did nothing.
Yeah, we did see a couple times where he dropped a control ward, like right point blank, and he put it in the same bush when they were shooting at it already, and then he...
Yeah, that was... Oof.
Yeah, and then there was that one pit where there was like a bunch of control wards all in the middle of nowhere. Like they were just kind of pitched right there while team fights were going down. It was interesting. Bottom of the line definitely seemed to not play in AOL's advantage when that was going down there. Whatever their plan was seemed to have not have worked. Let's see if all one lane can rebound in game 2. But anyway, guys, go ahead and set up a, if you guys wouldn't mind, could you please set me up a game for the next custom match? I would very much appreciate it, because I've just gotten hot, fresh Dota interview. Let's see what he's got to say, folks. We'll be right back as we'll get everything set and done, so enjoy the interview, guys.
Greetings, everyone. Dota here. Joining me today is Murderkaiser, top laner for Frosty Esports.
Hey, guys.
All right, Murder, tell me. Frosty been looking good the past couple of weeks. So what, if anything, has changed with the team?
I think we've just buckled down. We took our losses in the early in the season, and we knew what we needed to do to get better. Our synergies come a long ways, communication, shot calling, and our champion pools have definitely increased. And I think as the meta keeps shifting, like especially going into the new patch, I think we've adapted very well with it. Not only that, we have our full roster back. We were missing Ross for a while just because of some computer issues, so we had to sub in a jungler there, and he was a good jungler. We just didn't play with him that much, so it just became a synergy thing.
Right.
But I think with Ross being back, he's a very vocal member of the team, so it's good to have that voice back on the back in the comms during the games.
Okay. Yeah, and just to kind of add on that, first couple weeks you guys, even though you lost, they were super close games against Piping. So I think you guys definitely got that synergy going, looking a lot better. You're over the hump, I guess we'll say.
Yeah.
So for the past couple weeks, you looked really good, and now you're at 5th place. Do you think this is where you guys belong, or do you guys think you should be higher, lower, what?
I mean, I think it just falls down to, it comes back to the losses. We threw our games away early. Not threw them away, but we lost them. Just a better team won those games. So we're at 5th right now. We're going to keep working to keep getting better, keep getting more points on the board so that we can keep moving up. I think right where we're at right now is about where we belong just because of those losses and the other teams who have – I'm not going to say it was an easier early schedule, but, we did face the top 1 and 2 teams already this season. And we've taken those games, lost them, and this is where we sit. So
yeah, no, for sure. All right, so tonight you're going against the man, the myth, the legend, Abe Lincoln. What are your thoughts on that guy?
Like I was talking to the guys earlier. He is a very solid Darius player, and with the buffs to Darius, obviously you're not going to give somebody a champion that they're good at. So we're going to go ahead and ban him out on that one. Everything else, as far as, just looking at champions he's played and just kind of the meta champions right now, we have picks to go against him. So, he's a solid top laner. He does his job. He is very good at his positioning as far as team fights go 90% of the time. And he knows how to, soak ganks so that the rest of his team can do what they need to do.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So how confident are you and the rest of the team going into tonight's match?
We're very confident.
Feeling good?
That's the thing that I think we've been missing until the past couple of weeks. We've just kind of found, I guess you just call it our swagger. We know if we go into it, we know we're a strong team. We've had games where a couple of us were playing scared, or we just weren't talking, weren't listening, we were tilted, just whatever it is. I think we've finally found that kind of that magic moment for us that's turned everything around, and I think it's up from here.
All right. Sounds great. Final question. Final score for tonight's match.
2-0 Frosty.
2-0 Frosty. A clean 2-0?
Clean 2-0.
Clean 2-0. All right, you heard it here, folks. We're going to send it back up to the desk.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Murderkaiser's prediction so far seems to be coming true, and that talk of his confidence is certainly feeling pretty well placed. Let's see if that's going to happen. It's coming up very shortly, guys. We'll be back with the break. You see the timer. It's not going anywhere. Be ready and be prepared. You'll be seeing game soon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Game 2 of Frosty versus ALLONELANE. We're getting right into the second game, and again, it is Rengar, and with me is Gwayan.
Hello?
Gwayn? Gwayn?
Gwayn?
Gwayn.
Yes.
We're hopping in right into the second game, picking bans. Looks like ALLONELANE will get the first ban, and they will ban out Talia.
I guess they're really afraid of Shay Quinn playing Talia. The roaming potential on Talia is almost unparalleled.
Yeah, banned at the last game, and the Scion coming through this game on the side of Mordekaiser.
Yeah, we should see a change on the stream soon if Army gets to it.
Hashtag Flame Army for not changing the stream.
Always. Mr. Convenience Zaya, he does mean it, so that is a really good ban. I don't think that you should be like afraid of the Tristana just because he popped off on it one game. I feel like that's more in the misplays rather than Tristana being extremely challenger good at Tristana.
Yeah. The brand coming ban again. Then the Tarek. Do not want to see that again. Don't want that Tristana to be able to just hop in and 2v5. It doesn't have to just be Tristana. Really, any ADC with that Tarek ultimate can really just pop off without that fear. The Jack's being taken away from Ravencrow again.
I guess they're really afraid of that, Jax.
Jax is very strong right now. He can go like Cinderhulk in a try. And it's really strong. It'll just get pretty tanky, but he can also do mad amounts of damage. And he can split, team fight. He's pretty much good at everything. And they didn't ban the Varus this time because they banned the Scion, so they do pick up the Varus, and that was something they were afraid of the first game.
They're afraid of the Scion now. Wow, that's pretty surprising.
Scion's win rate OP, dude.
Oh yeah, the volley bear coming out. I actually don't know if that's gonna be jungle or top lane.
I think it'll be jungle. It would make more sense in the jungle just because how fast he can go. But he's not bad in the top lane either. I would love to see more top laners go with the Hyphy, Yasuo, Lucian top laners just for some fun. In that case, Volley can just run all over them. And if that did happen, then we could see the Volley top lane. Otherwise, I think it'll be here in the jungle. The
Vi pickup. I do like the amount of CC coming from a Vi. Though there's not a lot of practice games for the Vi on Ravencrow. The Janet being picked up, able to stop the initiation from the Leona and Volibear. That's pretty good, I think.
Yeah, it looks like a different game out of both teams here. Going for very different picks. Again, the Sejuani not picked up by either team, even though it was open both games. Wanting a more hyphy matchup, and I like to see that.
The Gallia pick, I think, was picked up exclusively for the reason that Kid of Fire plays it. I'm pretty sure Shay Quinn doesn't play a lot of Gallia mid, which is kind of... Oh, well, recently he has. So I guess maybe
it out after that Bjergsen game.
Yeah, I guess the Bjergsen game really brings a lot of highlights to Gallia mid.
When you watch a man one-shot two people with one ability, can't help but want to pick him up.
Can't help but go, I want that.
I want that. The Tristana ban coming through. Neither team decided to pick it up in the first rotation, even though it wasn't banned. Would rather have the Varus on the side of Blue Edit. Twitch wasn't banned either, and even though that is his most comfortable champion, maybe just wanting the Varus for safety, especially with the Volibear running at you 3,000 miles an hour. That Varus ultimate can be very clutch.
Well, they did pick the Varus before they saw the Varus, but I completely agree with you that at this point it's probably safer to have the Varus versus the Twitch, and maybe kind of disappointing that Twitch game, or just wants to play at the Varus.
Unlucky on his main. You always want to pop off when you get your main champion.
Yeah.
Unfortunate he didn't get it there, but it's a new game, and we'll see if he can beat Mr. Convenience in the bot lane, as he will be facing a Jinx down there. Malzahar picked up for Kid of Fire. Haven't seen too much Malzahar in the BSGCS, but we will see.
Yeah, I do like it, the amount of
holy
wave
cow.
clear that you're able to use.
Yeah, it has good CC. I don't know if it was the smartest pick into the enemy team comp from what I've seen so far, but
Yeah,
maybe just looking for early roams.
maybe against a Jinx, but I see what you're saying. Now let's being picked up for the top lane. A lot of CC coming out. Thank you, Tyler, for the shout out in the chat.
Will be the Gangplank top lane. Won't be the volley this time. We'll be putting the jungle. Nautilus support. Janna mid lane. Malzahar top lane confirmed.
Gangplank in the top lane. Again, I think there's a lack of AP damage coming from... Well, not again. Because that was all one lane last time.
Yeah,
but I think with the Gallia mid, there is just like a lack of AP damage. And even though Gangplank does shred tons of armor, I don't think that that's exactly the best pickup.
Mm-hmm.
Though they do have a ton of damage within the Gangplank and Jinx.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Nautilus top lane in a while either, just because he received some pretty hefty nerfs a while ago. I think it was sometime around, I want to say like halfway through the season, he was being played top lane like every single game, not only in the LCS but in solo queue, and then they had to hit him with some fat nerfs just to stop that. So it'll be interesting to see if it'll be able to perform like it used to and get a little blast from the past, or if the Nautilus will fall flat on his face.
That guy O1 did say there's no AE Abe.
Oh, that's true. There is no more Abe this game. That's very true.
Well, for Aether.
Oh,
I don't know. I guess Abe plays a lot of Nautilus top.
Wait, is he not an all one lane player?
Abe Lincoln.
Oh, I kept inviting that guy to the lobby because I thought he was part of all one lane.
I don't know. Maybe something's weird going on. Tyler is given more bits. Thank you for that.
We got a great game today. Match of the week. Very high feed. We got some great picks today. I'm very interested to see if anything like off meta build wise will happen. I've seen some Malzahars go for the new Seraphs and Brace first just for that massive shield, so they can ult, then shield, and be safe. I don't think we'll see it just because it doesn't give you a lot of damage. But when you're playing Malzahar, you're not really playing for the insane damage early. So I think it's a viable pick to build that just for the safety aspect of it.
Yeah, and Malzahar's wave clear early is pretty insubstantial, especially against a Galio, because as soon as that minion wave starts gripping up on each other, you're able to just Q auto attack and suddenly it's gone.
Yep. The Janna and the bot lane as well versus the Leona. Double CC coming down from the Jinx and the Leona, so I'm interested. I guess technically like quad penta CC if you count all of Leona's abilities.
Yeah.
Jinx does have the follow-up traps. Could look to be very dangerous. No Ignite again coming in from either team. No Ignite mid lane. Galio opting for the TP. Ignite didn't work out too well last time, so...
Thank you, Red Knight. So Abe was an Aether Esports player, but now he is on AOL, so Spike coming in for at least this game.
Oh, okay. Double TP for both teams. Pretty standard heal and exhaust. And
I guess they kind of thought that the Galio, with the Ignite, Shaquin picking the Galio to try and show Kid of Fire how to play Galio. No Ignite on Shaquin, which is maybe an interesting choice with the Galio ult, but you're able to roam and then TP back even if Malzahar does push it in really hard, and Malzahar is also able to TP. It'll be interesting if Malzahar does pick up Summoner's Spellbook and goes for the teleport first.
Yeah, we'll find out here in 30 seconds. We'll be able to see the runes that each player takes. Nothing really extremely different last time. I'm glad we're not getting a second Gragas game. Didn't work out the greatest. Kind of just eat in. And they were too far behind that he really couldn't do anything. Landed a few good ultimates, but I'm excited to see the Vi come out from him. See if it's any better.
Preferably, you see a lot of ganks and Volibear trying to counter gank, as I think that Volibear does win if Gangplank or Jinx does make it to late game. And I think that the Volibear Galio are just trying to set up to support their carries, and the Leona is trying to get to the engage.
Yeah, especially with the volley buffs coming through, I think he might be a little bit stronger than Vi, especially with that executability. And he now does like fear. His fear knocks out people for like a second, I think. It's something along the lines of that. So it's a very strong like team fighting tool now as well. I really like the Volibear pick. I'm expecting to see it a lot more.
Yeah, those Volibear buffs coming through. He actually seems a lot stronger. I faced him a few times. It's like, whoa, where is this all coming from?
Yep, when we look at the runes, Electrocute for Vi, Ari, Fleet Footwork.
The comment on Malzahar?
Yeah, I think you're supposed to run. Are you supposed to run Unsealed Spellbook when you play Mouse?
I think that the nerf there hit him. Like he was on the brink of not using it. If you do like the flash, really you use it to get the lower flash cooldown, so you can do that several times. But the nerf coming in there means that the comment might give you more DPS. It depends on what you're really looking for.
Yeah. Frosty Esports looking to close out the 2-0. Not wanting the tie, but all one lane will do everything in their power. Maybe even bringing out some pocket picks with that first pick Varus and the Vi. So we will see if they're able to pick off a game from Frosty Esports.
And again, with the bot lane summoner spells, I would like to see an Ignite on the Leona,
Yeah, definitely.
as if you do get that early lead on Leona, you're really able to win past that, especially
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
you
Jinx.
definitely have the kill pressure in lane already beating Leona, so when you run that Ignite, it helps so much more. I wish we could have seen the Ignite on the Zyra too, and that could have been a completely different game, but just
Well,
taking it
those
for the
are
late
two
game.
different people. Because now
Yeah.
Zushi with the exhaust makes a more sense.
Yeah, of course. Either way, I think it's more of just like the bot lane kill pressure thing in general. It's not really like a player's. It's not a player that makes it good. It's more the champion in that. Support role.
I'm saying that the like, it's a mistake from both supports.
Yeah.
Because we both agree it's a mistake.
Definitely. Wow, Frosty played very disrespectfully, not even watching out for the 5 point, watching out for the invade.
They're just hanging around the blue buff and not waiting for the 5.
I'm that BM, feeling confident.
I mean, with a Nautilus and a Janna, I feel like you should, and a Vi, like you should really be watching for this, because that's like multiple hard CC spells. That at least the Vi does go over the wall, so it's like you cannot flash away.
You know, one thing I don't like about the 5 point from the side of all one lane is they have the Vi watching mid, and if Frosty were to do the correct 5 point, they would see that Vi mid, and they would see whatever side she was running to. I'd like to see her where the Malzahar is, just because you still have time to run to both lanes, but you're not able to see what side the Vi started.
Though I do think that a lot of the time you can guess that they'll start on the bottom side, especially since red is much easier clear than blue.
It's more of if your top laner and your bot laner are willing to go ahead and fake the leash.
Yeah.
And especially with Vi, when you counter gank so early, I think it would have been pretty good to do it there. Trading early in the mid lane as well.
The Vi coming in for the level 2 gank.
Level 2?
Malzahar, using the E on the Galio means that this CS under turret is going to be really hard. Not able to pick up any of them, actually, only getting the one minion that he got earlier. Using that E on the minion to try and get a clear. Vi coming in for the Q, not using it yet. Just getting one auto off. Push him away.
So much time there. Gonna be really far behind on the gank. We're on her clear speed now. Volibear already working on his third camp. Almost.
Yeah. Cleared wolves.
Unfortunate.
Not
I
able
could
to
have looked for the invade there, but instead decided to try and help out the mid laner. Unfortunately, nothing came to fruition. Unlucky.
Galio should get a pretty big lead here as Malzahar is missing a lot of these minions. Galio using that Q to wave clear the backline, using it correctly. I don't think that I saw a lot of that when we did see mid lane in the last game, which was maybe a problem, as Galio did just get shoved in a ton.
Yeah. Not looking for the same thing this game. Walking up,
Missing that siege
passive for the CS.
too.
Say that one more time.
Missing that siege minion. Like, as a Malzahar, you don't have a lot of kill pressure, especially with no ignite, right? So using those abilities on the Galio to not shove in the wave. Oh, going in for the top lane, able to almost kill him. Nautilus going back under turret, having to flash away. That'll give Gangplank a lot of pressure in this wave.
Yeah, I actually canceled the Nautilus hook animation. Was able to knock him back into the team. Almost got him killed by having to miss more camps just to try and keep up with the pressure from the Volibear. Volley will just go back clear. Val try and go ahead and get Scuttle just to make sure that RP gank doesn't happen, because Volley does know that the flash isn't there, but he's just gonna go clear with Raptors.
I do like Volley's
Vi actually
clear.
ahead of Volley in the camp department, the CS.
Yeah, but I think that is mostly from the Raptors, as you do get a bunch from Raptors. I think at this rate, the only difference is after that camp there should be no difference. So plus the Scuttle Crab.
Definitely worth for the Volibear just in general.
Yeah. Able to at least get out that flash, so I should be like, I would expect a repeat gank, and as the Volibear, you're able to interrupt the Nautilus.
Yeah, and Nautilus back and pick up a cloth armor and a control ward. Oh, I noticed that we have one stopwatch on the side of the gangplank. It now comes into effect 10 minutes into the game, so it has to wait much longer. Can look for those early dives.
Volibear's gank not able to do anything. A lot of time wasted again with the Vi. Not very good ganks coming out from either side.
Volley just trying to look down and put that pressure early because it does have that speed up. Wasting a lot of time though. Neither like camp rotation from either jungler has been very good at all. Vi's just looked for the misplay mid lane, and then she's just trying to keep up with the Volley. And the Volley just is so worried about ganking that he's not even worried about his pathing.
Yeah. There should be a CS lead for Varus as a really big wave has built up. And he should be able to CC this under turret. Unable to pick up that one. Oh well. I don't think it will be very consequential. I think the bigger thing to focus on is the coal pickup from the Gangplank and the amount of money that Gangplank is making from Kleptomancy.
Yeah, on top of his passive.
Yep.
It's just very good for him. Always going to get ahead, no matter how far behind he really is. Just based off of all those things. A lot of vision coming down from the side of Frosty. Especially in the river bot lane. Top side got a little bit of invasive vision in the top side jungle. So
yeah, you really see the difference between the two like playstyles in that like the most defensive ward for Frosty is the control ward in Tribush top lane. And the rest of them like are pretty far out there. Like the ward over the wall. I like that type of things versus like AOL's not trying to ward deep, and you really need to ward deep in order to get the vision.
A lot of question mark pings coming down mid lane, even though he had vision of the Malzahar. So hopefully not any tilt coming into play for Frosty. I doubt it though. Hopefully they can keep their heads in the game, and they do have the first game, but they don't want to get overconfident or even like that start to tilt each other because all one lane is still in this game.
Hopefully that's just the Galio just pinging accidentally, or a
Ping
lot.
accidentally 20 times. Omega lol.
Hey, you never know, you know? Yeah, like my G just gets stuck and I accidentally like sweep to the side a bunch. The wave clear coming in from Galio. There is a 3-man gank coming in here if the Galio is not careful, able to clear the backline. Malzahar did push it in fairly hard, but Galio is able to get back and the 3 retreat. There is a free lane for Jinx right now, though it is fairly pushed up, so Varus should be able to catch it before it hits the turret.
Yeah, Jenna and Vi got some deep vision, which is good. Volley's sitting top lane. Ooh,
the Volley Bear going in, able to flip the Q over. The Gangplank ult, not able to actually get him. The Nautilus trying to get away, using his ult, walking down, using the Q hook. Nobody is trying to help right now, so I don't think that this will actually...
like, nah.
Yeah, Malzahar's just clearing wave. Now gets in there, but Gangplank is able to pick up first blood. Has to flash over the wall against the Galio, even though there was not a lot of kill pressure and still had his passive.
Yeah, Mouse is just farm is #1 priority. Didn't roam there at all to help.
Like he didn't even like react. It's not like he was like almost going there. Like let me pick up these minions first. He was like,
he was just straight up standing still, hitting the minions.
Nautilus.
Team, what's that?
Are you okay? Whatever. I don't care about him.
Yeah, unfortunately, blew his flash because by the time he did go down to help, it was way too late.
Yeah, I don't know why he flashed there. Like. The Galio would have to auto him and then get his Q off, and you can just walk around that corner at that point.
Yeah, maybe scared of the Volley Gangplank roaming mid, but I don't think that would have been an issue. You're definitely right. Could have just ran literally back into lane.
Yeah, go back to the minions, Malzahar.
Unlucky. I like how Malzahar just decides to take most of the Qs. Like, all he has to do is move like a foot to the left, but every time Galio throws a Q, Malzahar just takes it.
You could even walk forward, right? Because the Galio Q goes backwards.
Yeah, you can literally walk anywhere in a 360 degree.
But you have to walk, which is the issue. Galio using his W. Family members in the background. I hope they will be quiet.
Nope, sounding good. Gotta hear that nice, strong, male, masculine voice. Sounds good. Yeah, both supports have been pretty active this game, supporting the enemy jungle and just roaming mid lane. Unfortunately, neither team has really looked to make a play. They just roam and then waste a lot of time and then run back to their lanes. But it's good to see the proactivity. Galio could look to get caught out here. Bot lane roaming up. It is an Ocean Drake for the first Drake, which is definitely arguably the second best. So
I think a lot of the Drakes are pretty useful. Like, preferably if you're ahead, you should pick them up because that way you can get them sooner. But if you win later, there's no reason why you take the dragon if you do have drag control. Because if you're winning and you don't want them to ever get ahead, you should be baiting them into Dragon Pit to just take the fight rather than take dragon and have them maybe take the next one too. Galio using his Q to wave clear a ton. Vi taking out the vision. That's really good, trying to get a gank down pretty soon. But Galio's playing extremely far back. Vi is hanging around, unable to do anything as the minions won't even hit each other for like 5 seconds. Just going back to farming again. Like, the wasted time on the map is
It's been pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Both teams were just wanting to all in each other literally every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And now neither team wants to touch each other.
What is Volleybear doing when going for that? Like, even if you even if you land your Q, you have to E beforehand and whatever. A lot of wasted
Pressure.
time.
It's the pressure. Just shove that Malzahar. Let him know he's there. Don't let him get comfortable.
Let him know you gotta back away from my Galio. Vi coming in from behind, but Galio backing up
AFK.
already.
Oh, she DC'd, I think.
Oh yeah, Leona going down.
That'll
The
be a
Jinx
double.
trying to get the auto attacks, able to
Woo!
get, but the Gangplank ult coming down. Jinx is able to escape. So even though
Still
Leona
getting
was
the better of the
winning
trade with the DC support.
Oh, now the pause comes through. Wow, that's really surprising that Jinx was able to just auto there, and that's the CS lead that came from earlier, with
I
getting the
don't know.
BF sword versus the pickaxe.
I don't know if Blue Edit was trying to be respectful by not hitting, and then he was just like, nah, kill him, kill him, kill him. So then because he split focus. He was hitting the AFK Leona for a really long time. Got her super low on like 1 or 2 autos, and then just changed focus to the Jinx randomly. So I don't know if he's just trying to be a good guy, and then got caught out, but Jinx had no problem hitting him back, getting the better of the trade too.
The unpause comes through. I don't know if it's better. It depends on how many minions Varus does miss here to the turret. I think it just goes even at that point, and because Jinx is further on her path to like multiple items with the BF sword is more useful, but Blue is being able to pick up that Ocean Drake, get that sustain. The Jinx rocket coming through might be able to steal it, unable to, hitting the Janna.
Oh, so
Very close. Not at all, actually.
Still 1,000 HP, but it's fine.
Hey, you gotta tell them what was good, inflate their ego a little bit, you know?
Yeah, trading top lane. Nautilus actually came out positive with that.
Yeah, that E is doing a ton of damage, able to get that root, multiple
it
auto
actually is,
attacks.
yeah.
That
Look
bomb
for
is
solo here.
yeah.
If he lands a hook, he could get him. Not gonna look for it though. Playing smart.
Mid laner and jungle, clearing out some vision, getting some wards down.
Yeah, I like the vision game a lot more from both teams this game.
Yeah, both teams are trying to play it rather than AOL just kind of giving up. Gangplank teleporting back to lane with a
Wow.
stinger of all things.
Wait, look at the jungle. This Volleybear is out jungling the Vi so hard because his Vi is just wasting so much time on these wannabe roams and wannabe ganks. That
Who's wasting time more? I guess it's the Vi.
apparently the Vi, because the
Yeah.
Volley has a 20 CS lead.
Already getting that Cinder Hulk. About 700 gold ahead. Vi has to back in order to get her warrior. I'm unsure if you do want warrior, as realistically Nautilus is the only tank on your team, and you don't need a ton more damage if the Malzahar and Varus are playing correctly.
Yeah, that's where the question comes into, like the Jarvan and the Vi builds. Do
Yeah.
you just build the Cinder Warmogs for the CC, and like you're just gonna hard tank, and you're just there for the CC purely? Or are you looking for like the one shot, like Jarvan, the one shot Vi? So, a little questionable, I think. Personally, I always think when you're playing 5v5s, you're playing that champion for the CC. You're never playing it for the damage, because you want your other lanes to be the damage. So, I would have liked to see the Cinder Hulk there.
Or like with a Jax, if you are that far ahead, if you do get ahead, then there's no reason why you can't go a little bit more.
Yeah,
bruiser.
exactly. You can go that bruiser build, yeah. Rift is now up. Volley's hanging around the bot side. Vi
Able to get that
red buff.
rift. Almost looking for a lane gank, but just sitting there.
And I know why Volley's so far ahead, because every time he ran into that lane, he would take 3 or 4 CS. Guarantee it.
Galio going in, able to get a ton of damage. The E auto Q able to take down Kid of Fire 2 half health. Using
Showing
the
Kid of
correct-
Fire how Galio's supposed to be played.
Yeah. Dominating the lane, even against the Malzahar. Leona trying to go in, unable to hit the Q. Jinx trying to get some trades down, but now Leona walking too far forward. The tornado hitting her. Bad trades coming out from both sides. A little bit of trading going on in mid lane, but unable to get substantial damage down onto the Galio.
Yeah, he's got his passive up. Just throw his Q. Only one of those. Like, it doesn't even have to meet in the middle for it to pop the passive. So, even if he steps up close, should be able to pop it. Come out with the even trade. Not when he's in a tower, of course. But, well, maybe unless your name is Mr. Convenience, then you can trade with him on a tower. Volleybear gonna go ahead and back. Let's see what he picks up. Just the Mobies wanting to be everywhere on the map at once.
Yeah. I think he's looking for a full clear full clear here, especially since most of his camps are up. Vi got her warrior at 61 CS, 18 CS behind, but Volibear does have that assist. And Control Ward's being placed in that bottom bush, but every single time, Mr. Convenience and Leona are able to just pressure Varus and Janna off. And Janna not being able to poke back. There is the Vi ganking able to get onto the Leona, but got Jinx trapped. Leona going back in to Q her. What? The ult and the flash, able to flash away. But the Vi ult comes through, no gap closer at that point from the Leona, able to escape.
Yeah, Frosty said that their support was lagging earlier when he GC'd, and I think he's still lagging probably, because I don't know why he would walk back into
I mean, hopefully.
Yeah,
walking back in to clear the Vi.
Yeah, do not want to misplay that hard.
Yeah, hopefully that was, we're going to call that lag.
Yeah, they're going to manage to draw the TP from the Gallios, that way they don't lose first tower. They could have looked for the dive there on the Jinx, but instead, the TP scares him off, he cancels it, doesn't actually have to go through with it. Gets the reduced cool time.
I don't think the Galio should have TP'd so early.
Nah, he had ultimate. All he had to do was walk down river a little bit, and then ult.
Yeah.
He was that scared about the tower going down.
There is no TP pressure, so Malzahar and Nautilus should be looking to try and get like a 3v5 going, or even a 2v5 if all 5 people get down bot lane. Nautilus is going in for a lot of trades. The mana nerf onto Gangplank able to show in the early game, but the Nautilus Q does miss, not able to get down full damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Volibear wasn't able to make anything happen top lane off that play because the Gangplank, like, even though he hasn't been pushed in all game, the one time that he needed him to not be pushed in, he was pushed into the Nautilus tower. So unfortunately, Voli wasn't able to do anything, so he just cleared his camps and cleared a ward. Now looking for a play mid lane.
Now Volibear going to flash and the ult coming out from the Malzahar, trying to kill the Volibear. Volibear flashing him. Lots of damage coming out from the Malzahar now, as he does have his haunting guys.
Maybe you forgot he had that ability.
His ult? Or hunting guys?
Yeah, I don't know why Voli would
doesn't
gank that, especially when
he did burn the flash.
Yeah,
I don't think that he should have flashed away, as it's like if somebody does follow, they're following also into the Galio, who had his entire spell rotation up.
My thing is, Volley went for the dive there, though. Like,
yeah,
if you're just showing your presence.
Actually, Malzahar going in way too deep. The Gangplank ult coming down, plus the Volibear bite gives Gangplank the kill, but Gangplank trying to escape, oranges away from the Nautilus, able to Q the wave, not able to kill it yet, trying to get the full amount of gold that he can. Not able to pick up those melee minions there. I think Red Team should be looking for Infernal, because that would be extremely helpful. And they do have a 2k gold lead here. Galio clearing mid lane.
It's pretty questionable pathing, because they didn't have vision on the ADC or the support, and they didn't have vision on the jungle either. So for him to walk that way, like, it was just asking for trouble.
Vi jumping into pit, using the Q to go back in, gets hit by the Galio, gets CC'd into death.
It looks like every member's lagging today. Unlucky.
Yeah, sure, we'll call that lag too.
Yeah, don't know. She had a Q to get out.
And she goes back in, gets hit by the Galio. Okay, this is...
Like, they stopped dragging. They had like 2,000 HP, like, or 1,600 HP still. And she just queued in like, nah, this steal's mine. It's fine. Don't even worry about it, boys.
She must have lagged, not seen members.
Yeah. Unlucky. It was her MacBook.
She charged up her Q too. It's like, I'm going to escape, and then uses it backwards. I think she was thinking to flash out, because she still had flash, but like at that point, why?
Yeah, I don't know. A little bit weird from
okay.
ALLONELANE.
Ravencurve does go down there. They are able to pick up the Infernal, really helpful for the Jinx, because the faster you get to that late game, the more damage you do. A lot of late game champs coming out.
Yeah,
trying to clear that control ward.
Ginsu's already finished for the Varus, so that's pretty strong. They look for some team fights here with the Nautilus. It could go well. Vi is behind, but she is still 1-1. She does have the Warriors completed, so if they do want to start some fights, it's probably right about now that they want to do it, since the Jinx finished the Runins first. They do have a pretty heavy, like...
able to get it onto the Leona. A lot of damage coming out, but not able to follow it up. Flashing forward, able to get the ult down. Malzahar also coming in, the exhaust, able to slow him, even though there was multiple people in the area. Nautilus going in on the Gangplank, able to do tons of damage, trying to prevent the Gangplank from being able to Q a barrel, able to stab it every single time yet so far. The shield coming out, able to take a positive trade. The root coming out again. Mordekaiser taken down to about half. while Nautilus is still about pretty near full. The TP coming down, plus the Gameplank ult to try and wave clear. Missing the melee and the siege with the Gameplank ult. And the Galio TP, even though Jinx was there too. The ult coming out from Malzahar. Jinx walked way too far forward. The Janna ult to try and get Galio away. Not able to take down the Jinx, but able to wave clear. I think that should be a tower, as Galio's also way too low to try and stay here. Going for the Ludens first means you are a really squishy Galio.
Yeah, with the new Leandries, that ultimate on Malzahar actually shredded the Jinx there.
Yeah, especially since he was in combat before.
Yeah. It's definitely impressive because that's exactly what we said they needed to do. Like, the power spike is probably right now with the Varus, and they played around that perfectly down there.
Able to do a ton of damage to that Leona, even though the Locket of Iron Solari is there.
Yep. Meanwhile, top lane, like you said, they're just trading. Nautilus look to be coming up ahead most of the time, but with Mordekaiser's constant oranges spam, he's able to stay in the lane. Looks like Volley might look for a play top side, but so is Malzahar. Malzahar probably going to pick up that blue and look for a play top. May forget about the blue. Who needs blue when you have kills? No, not even going to take the blue, just going to back.
Galio able to wave clear a lot. Volibear picking up. Oh, Nautilus ulting into top lane onto the Gameplank, able to get the passives done. The orange is already used. The Q still exists. The Malzahar EQing. The ult should happen here, but chooses to back out as soon as they see the Volibear.
Like the
Malzahar does not have ult. It's coming up soon. Trying to keep the Nautilus alive.
Now.
Oh, the Malz ult used on the Volibear, but flashes to the side. But Galio going in on top of Varus. The Jinx ult missing. Volibear is quite low. The Jinx ult missing.
He's hungry.
The Gameplank ult almost able to slow him down for the barrels. Unable to. Vi charging up her Q to go and do nothing with it. A bunch of team members rotating top lane. This should be a turret. End of dead Vi at this rate. Galio going in, not using any abilities yet. They're ulting onto the Vi. Gameplank oranges are trying to escape, but the almost able to be taken out. Not able to do enough. Galio doing the DPS along with the Jinx. This should be a turret.
Yeah, Frosty trading that bot tower for the top tower a little bit later. They do manage to roam up and get the collapse on the Vi. You know, Mordekaiser's Gameplank not looking that clean here. Not that Nautilus isn't playing really well, he is. But some of those barrel combos that would have been pretty easy for any Gangplank player to land just aren't connecting. So needing more help from the team rather than just getting the 2v2 on the top.
They're just doing a lot of trading, though. Galio does go really low. Not tanky at all with the Ludens again. But they're able to take blue and get out of there. I'm pretty sure Galio got the blue there. Galio got the blue.
You don't think they'll Baron rush, do you?
No, I don't think they will.
Unfortunate. I love me a good old Baron throw.
Yo, the Galio did just back. If they realized that, I think they could have. As they would have been able to win any fight with the GP down bottom. He would have had to TP in. And without any barrels set up and the double control ward onto Baron. I mean, they're establishing that vision. They say you could place it here, but you'd have to have 8 auto attacks in order to have your ward do anything. Trying to flex on him, you know?
Yeah, just putting pressure mid, not really getting anything out of anything, really.
Yeah, not able to use that. I feel like they should have gone just for top turret. Because,
I mean, they could have done anything there. They could have pushed mid, they could have gone top, or they could have gone Baron. They just had to do
I think they just hung out in river, and they're just, like, there.
Well, yeah, they spent a lot of time. They stood in the Jinx traps. Like, 3 or 4 of their members stood on all of the Jinx traps, which took, like... Granted, it was only, like, 2 seconds, but that 2 seconds is a long time in the scheme of things. Jinx will back. Drake will be up in a second. What Drake will that be?
Mountain Drake.
Mountain Drake.
Vi placing down a control ward there. 3 control wards, again, at Baron Pit. Like,
Yeah,
2 in Baron Pit
control
and
wards.
1 in River. And I think there's much better situations there. Jenna trying to trade with the Leona. Not enough backup, though all 5 members are getting here. All wood lane starts up Dragon. This is a horrible idea for them. As soon as all 5 members, you should be looking for an engage. They're going onto the Leona. A lot of people are dying, unable to use the ult to escape. Virus is trying to get Dragon in the meantime. Against Vi, 3 people are trading. They're able to pick... AOL is able to pick up Mountain Drake, but a very scattered fight goes in the favor of Frosty. The Jinx ult misses quite substantially. Galio trying to chase. The Virus is really low if they do get onto him. You should see
flash forward.
He did already flash forward. and not able to catch up with the Malzahar or the Varus, there is a really big wave top lane, and they should be able to get bottom tower, which means that this gold lead will go really far in the favor of Frosty.
Kind of interesting that they didn't opt into the Baron there. They just opted that bottom tower. Might try and push for a second, but I think they could have rushed Baron. Or even if they got their mid lane tower, that would have made more sense. But already had chased the Varus down to the bot lane, so I was just take those 2 towers.
I think it's kind of risky to go for Baron. I don't think they have enough DPS to really take him out. And you don't know what's on the way. I don't know. I think it's just safer to take down Varus, but if they did get Baron, I feel like they'd get a really big lead. They'd have blown the game off its door hinge.
Jinx does have her IE completed. That's the only reason I think it would have been pretty viable there. Plus, she has a volley who's doing a deceptive amount of damage.
A third turret being taken out for those kills. That's the difference there. When AOL did win in that river in the previous fight, they didn't take any towers at all, versus the instant Frosty wins the fight, they take down 3.
Yeah, all lane, not even going to contest either of those towers, just letting it happen. I don't know if that's the smartest call, but better than being aced again and having their base broken open.
AOL trying to establish vision again. There's a lot of deep from Frosty, able to see them wherever they transition jungle. I do like the zombie wards there, as not only also get the tons of additional time, able to still see. Galio taking some trades mid lane. This is full AP Galio, no tanky at all.
Oh wow, you're right. I did not even notice that. It is full damage.
I think that Leandre's is a bad idea again.
Yeah, why? You're like, it's pretty much only good on certain ultimates.
Yeah.
Like your Q doesn't last that long. If you're using it for that, your ultimate is like a 1-second damage proc, so it's not really worth the burn there. I don't know about that.
I think Morello's was a better idea. Because the reason why you would go for Leandre's, in the previous Leandre's, would get that magic pen. But to really fully utilize Leandre's, you need sustained damage continuously. And as Malzahar, you just like place your E on somebody at the beginning of a fight, and like you do that once or twice, and you should be almost at max stacks. With Morello's, you're able to do a ton of damage with your Q, but a fight breaking out here, 4v1, they're unsure who to target select. The Malzahar ult is used on top of, but CC interchange, they are 2v1ing the Vi, and unable to actually take down the Leona.
Oh,
wow.
Leona gets away after multiple ults.
Jinx coming in a 1v3, able to do a ton of damage. The ult misses, and still tons more, but Varus is taken down. That should give Jinx the speed in order to take down the others, but the silence plus the Q means that Jenna does take down that kill. They are chasing after that Nautilus. The Justice Punch able to knock him up. Unable to escape. Tries to take down the Leona, and Blue Buff might finish her off. Team tanks. And it's just bad fight taking from the side of AOL. No shot calling there. Malzahar ult used on Leona, while at the same time 3 other members are chasing down the Galio.
Yeah,
the split focus there means that neither person dies.
Yeah, I don't know why the carries were focusing the Leona, and the rest of the team were getting one shot by the volley and the gangplank.
Yeah.
So. Leona needs to be careful here. It could get executed.
And I think that'll get really big now after the Baron play.
Yeah, again, you can just look for those just all-in engages mid lane, or whatever the lane that they decide to shove it down.
Yeah. Frosty keeping the Baron at 300 just to give the chance for the steal from AOL. A blind Varus Q takes Baron. I mean, that would be not good. But able to take it. No AOL member does challenge it even after.
Yeah, looking at the build pass, haven't seen anything crazy. The Triforce, i.e. Yomu's top lane, pretty standard. The Righteous Glory. I don't know if you want to go more tankier just because you're ahead, but Righteous Glory isn't bad when you're just trying to run down the Varus.
I don't know why the Galio is going to be a tank now. Like, why of all times, why do you side now after you're already winning?
Dude, you're this deep. Build the Spellbinders and the Rabadons. You got to go all the way. Lichbane, just E in, one shot somebody.
You got to replicate the Bjerg, right?
You got to Yes, exactly. I almost forgot. That's why he's going AP. He wants that Bjerg one shot build. Gonna one shot the 2 players. And if Janna or Varus does walk up, theoretically he could one-shot both of them.
Yeah, or the Malzahar even.
An EWQ on both. It would literally be GG.
And you're so tanky,
so bad.
Just intrinsically as Gallia, that you should be able to survive if the rest of the team follows up.
Yeah.
I don't know if going for the Spirit Cowl that right now is good. A lot of damage coming out from the Galio. It seems like he just has health and not enough like resistances to really be a tank, which means you're split. And I don't think either of them is useful.
I don't know. He's pretty tanky already. I think it's okay. I
Well, yeah,
definitely,
but even
if they were behind, if they were not ahead,
Mhm.
he'd be like pretty much trolling. But the
Yeah.
fact that he is ahead and it's working, he can get away with it. But that is such a risky build.
If you saw, the Varus E plus the Tornado took him down to like about half. And with his shield now on MR, like he's not, I don't know, a little bit more poke coming out would take Galio down a lot more. But Varus unable to get a lot of auto attacks down. Plus the Galio wave clear. GP is pushing it in. The dragon is live and it is an Infernal, which is really important. I would like to see Frosty changing their focus from pushing in either of these waves and just transition backwards. And with those control words all the way, you should be able to know if they're following and turn on them if they do. But they are. I think Gameplank is going down there to try and take it. And I think that's a risky move because I think AOL should be able to win a well-initiated 4v5. And with the Nautilus, you just
Nautilus
choose
can
who
get
you
one
want.
good ult. Yeah, it could be over. I don't know why ALLONELANE isn't fighting here.
I don't think they have a
Showing
lot of
little
vision.
too much respect. Yeah.
As their only vision is the control ward in their base, the control ward right next to red that didn't do anything, and their ward right outside the walls.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any sweepers. 2 sweepers on the side of ALLONELANE and 2 sweepers on the side of Frosty. I don't know how I feel about running the sweeper on the jungle, just because you can't buy the tracker's knife anymore. So it's kind of hard to get all those wards down, and you really do need the wards, especially when you're in a defensive position like this. It is good to clear wards, but I kind of like to have the yellow trinket just so you can get as many wards down for your own jungle when you're just behind.
Especially since you can't really stay in one place to challenge the wards a lot,
Exactly.
because you'll just die. Though Nautilus going in onto the volley bear, the ult there used on him again, but not like no damage coming out means that they're almost able to trade for bottom tower. And again, it's just back to the 401.
Yeah, I don't know why Nautilus would go for the volley bear play there, especially since they wasted the Varus ult on it too. I think
Yeah,
Blue
but
Edit's
they're
been a
going in for
little-
the Leona, flip him over, able to almost take him down, able to take him down. The Gameplank ult, but too much damage is coming out. They are looking for the Janna and then for the Nautilus, able to take them both out. There is no minion wave, so they are doing reduced damage, but able to take it out anyway. Gameplank is looking for the mid turret, even though there are no minions there. Transitioning to top lane, I would have liked to see him stay bottom to try and take that inhibitor too, but instead they're only able to get one inhibitor, diving the Nexus turrets. Oh, but the ult coming through against him, but unable to do enough damage means that Malzahar will be taken down before the Jinx. Are they looking to end right now? With 15-second timers, maybe, but it's pretty risky.
Yeah, 20 on the top, 50 on the Malzahar, 10 seconds on the bot lane in the jungle. They could do it, I think. I think they're going to do it.
Yeah, I think they can too. The Janna is coming up, but they're able to just destroy this Nexus. Able to try and take him out. No damage is being put onto the Nexus. That's a horrible idea. You need to kill the Nexus. You need to kill the Nexus.
They're all so low.
Able to take it down anyway.
There we go. That could have been very bad.
Holy moly. I think not a real doctor is not even at 100 HP right now. Like, just end the game. 2 kills doesn't mean a lot when you're already at 0 deaths from the Gallia.
Yeah, very risky, but they do get the W, which is all that matters.
No, but a 2-0 coming out for Frosty. Let's transition to the graphs proposed by Army.
Wow.
Yeah. Army, I'm pretty sure you're muted. I'm tuning into the stream and I'm unable to hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much for covering. Thank you very much for telling me that. Yes, Army ready for the match history, folks. To reiterate, Malzahar did the most damage, and it looks like the Nautilus and Varus just couldn't seem to keep up with the damage chart here either. We have 17k from Jinx, 13.9 from the Galio, and a 14.2 from the K, of course, for each one I've already said. From Gangplank, and honestly, this damage chart here doesn't look like it's outrageously large. Like, none of this looks like kills worth. Like, doesn't look like anybody carried over the course of everything. It didn't seem like one person did the job. It just seems like every single person was able to do what they needed to do to win this match for Frosty Esports, for getting the second win.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised about the damage coming out from the Nautilus, almost able to tie for the Varus, which is pretty insane, considering how the Varus does have utilities to poke, versus the Nautilus only damage comes from the engage. And even the Varus, a majority of his damage is coming from real fighting. To have those two numbers tie with the tank and the ADC means that Varus was unable to do a lot that entire game.
So if we only looked at one statistic here, you would say, as we took a look at the damage chart here, Nautilus couldn't seem to out-tank like the Vi here. Vi ended up with the most damage taken on the AOL side. But if you check the self-mitigated damage, it tells a completely different tale. 37.8k self-mitigated damage by the Nautilus. That's right. All he did was press a W, and that mitigated that much damage. That is
a lot of poke coming from the Gangplank, and just able to W to cover it.
Very impressive job by Spike. Certainly did an incredible tank job. Not even the opposing tank, Volibear, or anyone on the team comes even close to those numbers. That is just incredibly high self-mitigation. Very impressive stuff. The damage that was traded along here certainly was quite a lot of it. Volibear seemed to have taken a lot too, and Leona would have been taking a lot if it wasn't for the fact that it's actually the fourth lowest on that team, and it's Gangplank that's actually the second highest. Stats, everybody. Stats.
Taking a little bit too much damage probably in lane. Not able to tank any, so just taking a lot of damage.
Well, it did, as you were pointing out earlier, or as you were just saying here, the damage taken by Nautilus was very low compared to his mitigation. So yes, I see exactly what you're trying to point out there. We go ahead and look at the vision score and war place here, and Sushi has never been behind a support that never been behind by 30, and this is the first time vision score wise he's actually behind by 30, and that is actually incredible. Very rare for him. I do not know what the circumstances are, but I'm sure it was definitely an off day for him, 100%. As his ward place was 29 versus the Leona's 48. Very different numbers from last week, and very interesting numbers in this week. I've never seen him be this far behind of any support. This is the very first time. It was really rare.
I don't think that there was ever like a time that he could roam out of lane. With the Varus just being able to engage by the Leona. It means that Janna had to stay there in order to even have pressure.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. And finally, the final statistic, we were going to take a look at the crowd control score here. Malzahar with a 66 on that crowd control score, somehow outdoing a Nautilus, which is kind of difficult considering the only crowd control score that you have, speaking wise, is you only have the item Ryalize and your ultimate as your crowd control. That's it. So the fact that you can even get 66 out of it, and versus a Nautilus that has multiple different slows, CCs, knockups, and roots, that's honestly very impressive.
I would like to highlight one other thing for the vision score. It really tells you how important your wards are when, like for the Jinx, you place 12 versus the 13 wards from Galio, but the vision score was vastly different, with 17 coming from Galio and 37 coming from Jinx, which means the Jinx's ward were super useful, or at least spotting people, and were more aggressive, which are more useful, versus the Galios, which didn't do a lot, I don't think.
Certainly was different, and certainly had its difference. And in the end, it is a 2-0 for Frosty Esports. Let's get into the conversation here real quick, guys. Who do you two think should be the standout player based off of that? We do not have a tie, which means the only one eligible is the Frosty Esports team. Who stood out enough for you guys to think that they deserve it? If you want
Renko, what's your opinion?
The first game, I think it was definitely Mr. Convenience. Like, he literally just 1v9'd. Not a Real Doctor was also up for debate because he just played like the champion to perfection. He got multiple stuns off in the fights, which kind of allowed Mr. Convenience to pop off. But then again, Mr. Convenience was the one jumping in 1v5, which managed to get them the lead. And then in the second game, I would actually say the jungler, Solo Rost, even though some of his ganks and a lot of time was wasted, he kind of put so much pressure that the rest of the team on the side of all one lane was afraid to do things.
Yeah.
Like, he would just walk in the lane and blow their flash. Like, that easy. But I think Mr. Convenience was still, like, pretty strong. And, like, there was a one fight where I think he pretty much 1v4. Like, they were all running from him, and he just picked off, like, 3 members and was still going. So I think probably Mr. Convenience deserves it for me.
I completely agree. I think some people are saying not a real doctor. And
Yeah,
I
he
would
was
say
fun.
not a real doctor, except for maybe those lag spikes that made him turn around and cue the buy, which means he was maybe a little off for me. And Mr. Convenience was target banned a ton, as Mr. Convenience plays basically Xayah and never got to show the Xayah, and had to put on like Jinx and Trist, where not a lot of time was for practice, but still did tons of damage and able to do a lot in those games.
Now, my case here, I kind of like Shaquin and his numbers currently. You know, he didn't die at all in this matchup whatsoever, taking the Galio this time in Game 2. Game 1, he takes Orianna away from Kid of Fire. And both of those times, it just seemed like he had a very strong control of the game, and it seemed like he was doing a really, really solid and effective job out there on the battlefield. Of course, you can take a look at his build path, and it doesn't seem to be like the traditional. It definitely is something we have not seen any Galio perform yet. So it seems to be like a, hey, wait a second, do we not count that for? But both games of both Orianna and Galio, he seemed like he could really do a good job, and they're both two entirely different champions. Like, there is no similarity to their kit styles at all. They're designed specifically in 2 separate ways, and if you can do good on both of them, I think that's actually really what steps it above than an ADC in that type of role and position. Again,
So
it's not my decision to say. It's, of course, up to you two casters, but I just wanted to give you guys a second opinion.
I would like to put that in contrast to what he was facing.
Okay.
I think in the first game, he was versus a Galio, which means that his lane was fairly easy. And as Orianna, you have to get those ults in those team fights, and he was able to get those 3-man ults. I wouldn't say because of his positioning, it wasn't bad at all, but it wasn't like
It wasn't like
obviously the
great. It wasn't like,
greatest.
wow, what a clean ulti. They literally just threw themselves out of it. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And for the Galio game, he wave cleared a lot of the bunch, which is why you pick Galio. He didn't misperform on it. I don't think that he was as proactive with his ult or utilizing his TP as best as he could. And I think that it was other people that put him ahead, and then utilizing that lead, he was able to do tons of damage with the Ludens, but without Triforce.
So way to completely shut out Shaquin's
No,
chances entirely. Let's go,
I
Mr.
agree
Convenience.
that he did good, though. I'm not saying that he did bad. I'm putting that in contrast to what the game was
Well, anyway,
versus his stats.
Shaquin, you have no chance whatsoever to
I'm
be in
sorry.
a battle.
That wasn't. He did
Mr.
good though.
Mr. Convenience,
Jeez.
congratulations. You've won over the hearts of your fellow casters. Shaquin, you have no chance. Get out of here.
Wait a second. It's not
Mr.
what it's supposed to
Convenience,
do.
right now, I need you to come into the lobby. Let's go ahead and get him in here, shall we?
Yes.
All right. By the way, sorry for the little jokes aside. I know already
Yeah,
know
I get
exactly.
it.
I believe everything you said. I just
Mr.
found it funny.
Convenience.
He was very.
Cannot move him. There
I
he
can
is.
see it
There he
right
is.
now. There you go, Mr. Convenience. Welcome. You have won the standout player interview. What do you got to say, man? Was it convenient?
Cringe.
Yeah, agreed.
The first game, you definitely popped off on the Tristana. Did you guys feel confident going into that 2v2 against Blue Edit and Sushi? What was the thought process
100%
between you and them?
confidence.
100% confidence.
As
Why
soon
is
as
that?
the
Can you give
la-
us a little bit of background?
As soon as the lane started and she missed her first Q,
You just knew it was over at that point.
yeah, I knew she wasn't gonna hit me with anything.
Is
I
that
like
what you
it.
attribute the first game snowball to? Because there was like two 2v2s where you just straight up won the 2v2, and there was a slight misplay by the Zyra. Do you think that's what completely snowballed you the first game?
Yeah, entirely. They were so out of position all the time.
And then the second game, what do you think it was? There was so much different because it was definitely an entirely different game than the first game. Not only did you guys play it differently, but they played it differently as well. What was your mindset going to that? Like, what was the team preparation in terms of, okay, are we going to play this slower? We're not going to just like throw ourselves at them all the time again. Because you guys didn't do that. You guys played a much slower game the second game.
They played way too passive for us to play as aggressive as we wanted to. So we just played the zoning game bot lane,
I like it.
and we tried to keep them away from as much XP as possible.
So you do play Zaya a lot, and you got banned out of those both games, but were able to perform very highly on both Trist and Jinx. Do you have multiple bans, or are you just doing really well on multiple champs?
I'm just the best ADC in the league.
All right.
Got him.
Wow.
I can play anything.
You looking
can't
for a
ban
spot
me
on
out.
GG?
No.
Wait a second.
Wrong place and wrong time. Please
Omega
keep it to,
lol.
please keep it to the cast. That's all I gotta say. We should bring it up to the
Jokes.
questions to the. Yeah, I know it was, but bring it back to the question that I have for you, Mr. Convenience, and then we'll go to our final questions for each of us. So all one lane, they take this defeat here. 2-0 for you. You've pretty much re-solidified your guys' position. Do you think this is going to be a big climb for you in the weeks to come?
Yeah, like I said, we're gonna steamroll the competition.
Steamroll the competition. All right.
Yes.
Gaiwan, your final question?
What spot are you looking for final playoffs? Not post playoffs, but going into playoffs. What spot are you looking for?
I'll do you one better. What do you think the top 6 teams will be? And where do you think you'll place in them?
Sure.
I'm not concerned about the top 16. I'm only concerned about the top 3, and I know we're in the top 3.
I like it.
That's a lot of confidence. You should probably think about changing your name to Mr. Confidence after all the things you've said so far today. Rengar, what's your final?
No, that's it. I got everything I want. I like the confidence. Your team looked good. Thank you for the interview.
All right, and
Thank you.
And my final one will be so you said you are one of the 3. Are you 1 in that 3 category, or are you saying that you guys are 2, or you guys are saying what? What are you guys feeling? How far is the confidence? Numbers don't matter. Numbers don't matter. I'm asking specifically if everybody's 0 right now, are you going to be number 1 based off of all the wins that you're about to get? That's how
we're
much
number 1 easily.
With no numbers attached, everything's 0. You'll win all of them.
We're number 1 easily.
Okay. Just wanted
Concerned about the top 3? Nah, we're just number 1.
Yeah. They don't matter.
That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you. That's exactly what I needed to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Convenience, the ADC of Frosty Esports. Thank you very much for this interview. Doors on the right. You're all set to leave.
Later.
All right, man. See ya. Now, that will leave us to our epilogue here. So let's go ahead and bring this to a close here. My name is Army Overlord. I was your camera guy. And thank you very much for watching. What do you guys think?
It was a great game. Match of the week was pretty high for you. The first game was definitely more exciting than the second. But when you got a confident guy like that, of course you're going to get some exciting games.
Mm-hmm.
And I was your play-by-play caster.
And Rengar, your color.
Was that the question?
Yeah, it was, but I kind of blended the questions. Kind of my fault, really, for that. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching so far. Do not forget, it is Gathering of Warriors on Wednesday, 8 p.m. We're going to be able to get ourselves some more free agents, and let's hope that every team that needs a sub, that needs a replacement team, anybody that needs any assistance, please take a look into the Gathering of Warriors. I already love that we've gotten such a big free agency pool already, and it seems to be growing bigger and bigger and bigger every single week. And so far, the talent seems to really be absolutely amazing. I'm super hoping that talent continues to pour in, and I hope every single captain who needs a starter, needs a sub, can get these people. Absolutely going to love every single time I have to do it every Wednesday at 8 p.m. So, Eastern Time Zone, Wednesday, 8 p.m. to the Gathering of Warriors. I hope you see you there. Good night, everybody.